Welcome to today's explainer. All right, let's just dive right into this. We all know the exact feeling. You glance at your calendar, and there it is, staring back at you, the dreaded marathon meeting. Weekly syncs, cross-department deep dives, massive project evaluations, they just devour hours of your day and completely drain your energy. Well, today, we're totally transforming how you handle these grueling sessions. What we've got for you here is literally the ultimate survival guide for conquering the marathon meeting. We're going to break down exactly how you can walk out of your next long session feeling just as sharp and productive as when you walked in.
So let me ask you, do you often feel dizzy after a long meeting? Maybe your back is crazy stiff or your concentration is just completely shot. If you're nodding along right now, you are absolutely not alone. It's incredibly common to experience real physical symptoms like dizziness, muscle aches, and this intense mental fog after a long session. We kind of tend to think, hey, I'm just sitting in a chair listening. Why am I so exhausted? But the truth is, these symptoms are entirely valid. Your body and mind are under a massive amount of pressure during these marathons.
And that actually brings us to what a long meeting really is. It's not just passive listening. No way. It is an intense cognitive workout. Your brain is working in overdrive to understand, filter, and connect a massive amount of incoming data. When you're hit with that relentless wave of information, your cognitive gears are spinning constantly. Without the right strategy, your attention is going to wander, and the whole thing is just going to feel progressively more exhausting. You really have to treat this like an athletic event for your brain, which means you need solid preparation and a game plan.
So how do we conquer this? We're going to bring some order to the chaos using a structured four-phase roadmap. First, pre-meeting prep. Second, focus strategies during the meeting. Third, the intermission. And finally, post-meeting recovery.
Let's kick things off with phase one, the pregame. This is your crucial pre-meeting preparation.
This pre-game period is honestly probably the most ignored step of the whole shebang, yet it plays a massive role in your physical and mental stamina for the hours ahead. Notice the number 15. This is a super specific, actionable rule. Drink a glass of water exactly 15 minutes before the meeting starts. Why? Because proper hydration is literally the foundation of mental stamina. Water helps your brain fire on all cylinders, keeps you from getting drowsy, and actually reduces muscle tension from sitting too long. Make it a habit, 15 minutes out, drink up, and bring a bottle with you to sip on.
Beyond hydration, you've got to set your physical foundation right from minute one. We're talking an ergonomic checklist: straight back, relaxed shoulders, and feet flat on the floor. You know, sitting for hours wrecks your back and slows down blood flow, right? Well, by actively locking in this posture at the very beginning of the meeting, you significantly reduce the risk of that physical fatigue later on. You are literally keeping the blood flowing, which directly helps you think more clearly throughout the entire session. All right, now that we're prepped, let's head into phase two, in the trenches. These are your focus strategies during the meeting. And this brilliantly illustrates one of the biggest traps we all fall into. It is so tempting to multitask, secretly checking emails or WhatsApp under the desk, instead of maintaining a single focus. We all try to knock out other tasks during a long meeting. But here's the reality check. Multitasking actually causes you to completely lose the direction of the discussion. Single focus, on the other hand, accelerates team alignment. When you give the meeting your undivided attention, you don't have to ask people to repeat themselves, making the meeting way more effective and ultimately saving everyone's time.
I really want you to absorb this core philosophy. Being mentally present is an efficiency as important as physical presence. Basically, just being in the room or having your Zoom camera on isn't enough. Mental engagement is the true metric of attendance. If you are physically there but mentally planning your dinner, you're honestly just wasting your own time.
So how do we actually stay mentally present when the topic is, well, incredibly dense? The secret weapon is active note-taking. Just jotting down short notes keeps your brain active. It gives your hands something to do and forces your brain to process what's being said. Plus, it completely removes that immense stressful pressure of trying to remember every single detail at once. These little notes become your anchor, so your mind doesn't wander off, and it makes follow-up a breeze. Now let's talk about fueling that mental presence. Marathon meetings drain your energy fast. The trick is choosing healthy, energy-saving snacks. We're talking nuts, cut fruit, or maybe some dark chocolate. Why these specifically? Because they keep your blood sugar nice and stable. You absolutely must avoid highly sugary treats. Sugar might give you a quick spike, sure, but it guarantees a devastating energy crash right in the middle of the presentation. Stick to the stable fuels.
Another vital strategy while you're in the trenches is being your own advocate. Communicate your needs politely. If the presenter is absolutely flying through complex data, just ask them to slow down the tempo. If something's confusing, request clarification. By speaking up smoothly and professionally, you aren't just helping yourself. You're probably helping 3 other people in the room who were just too afraid to ask. It reduces tension and makes the whole team's discussion way more productive. Eventually, you're going to hit a wall, which brings us to phase 3, the intermission, the critical importance of breaks and stretching. Let's look at the anatomy of a perfect intermission. It doesn't take long at all. At minute 0, the meeting pauses. At minute 1, you stand up, do a light stretch, or take a few steps. And by minute 2, you are returning with fresh energy and a totally clear mind. Dedicating just 1 to 2 minutes to light movement ramps up your blood flow, drops that tension building up in your neck, and clears out the mental fog. You come back to the table totally refreshed. Use any gap you can to make this happen. Finally, the meeting adjourns. You made it! Welcome to Phase 4, the cool down. This is your post-meeting recovery. A lot of us immediately dive straight into a massive pile of unread emails the second a meeting ends. Actually, scratch that. It's almost an automatic reflex. But that is a massive mistake. To prevent information overload, you need a mental decluttering process. Just follow these 3 quick steps. 1, summarize the key points while they're still fresh in your head. 2, set your task priorities. What needs to happen right now based on what was just discussed? And 3, calmly transition back to your regular work. Taking just a couple of minutes to walk through this organizes your workload and smoothly translates the meeting into real action. By simply applying these tools, hydrating 15 minutes prior, locking in that posture, keeping a single focus, fueling up right, and respecting the cool-down phase, you are taking back control. Marathon meetings do not have to be this dreaded monster anymore. They can actually be a space where you're genuinely productive and comfortable. Take these strategies and literally apply them to your calendar tomorrow. So I'll leave you with this. Will you transform your next draining marathon meeting into a focused and productive win? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning out there.